So I think we're going to go on now to the second prize that was awarded. This one is going to be awarded posthumously to Karl-Heinz Meier, who died a few years ago. Karl-Heinz, as you'll hear, was the chief neuromorphic engineer for the Human Brain Project, and really contributed enormously to the hardware side, and also just the conceptual framework for how the field would develop. And as you can see here, his both scientific creativity and leadership really were responsible for having this impact. He was not just intelligent and collaborative, but he really was someone. He brought together a lot of others within the European community as well as abroad to form a global neuromorphic community. And I'm going to now pass this over to, and by the way, the same jury awarded it unanimously. This is by the first year that we're giving away this Lifetime Contribution Award. I'm going to now pass this on to
Johannes Schemmel.
Yeah, Johannes Schemmel, who will tell us a little bit more background about Karl-Heinz.
Yes, thank you. Can you give me the screen? Yes.
You have control.
I use it. Okay, I have
Perfect.
Many slides as Gigi, just one. You see, dear Professor Senjowski, dear jury members, dear neuromorphs, for me it's really a great honor to represent Karl-Heinz's research group here, to accept the 2020 Mahowald Special Recognition, it's a complicated work, for its lifetime contribution to neuromorphic engineering. And as Terry already said, Karl-Heinz was a great guy, and but this should not be a second obituary, so I want to talk very briefly about his neuromorphic achievements for what he got his recognition. His contributions have been numerous, but I want to remind you of a few that are especially relevant to the neuromorphic community. The neuromorphic interest of Karl-Heinz goes back to the previous century. So he decided in 1995 or so that the brain and how it processes information is a very interesting research subject where you can maybe make also more progress in a small group than in his original field of research. As most of you might know, was high energy physics, where he participated in building hardware that was used to now detect the Higgs boson. So great science, but always projects with thousands of scientists where the individual impact is maybe not that big, and timeframes are always in the more than 10 years. So neuromorphic computing was something more immediate, where he directly could use his expertise in microelectronics to produce neuromorphic hardware, as we have seen it before from Gigi. He used his expertise in microelectronics to jumpstart this research in neuromorphic engineering and analog computing. The most important thing is that he made the brain scales wafer scale neuromorphic system possible. You can see the wafer in the lower right corner and the system in the center. This was the first time that it was demonstrated that analog neuromorphic computing, event-based analog computing, can be scaled up for brain emulation in the future. He was also instrumental in founding the Human Brain Project. You see the logo in the top right, where it was planned to build this scaled up brain emulation systems. Unfortunately, he died. So while the project is still running, this was a severe setback for this kind of hardware development. But still, the project is still ongoing. And a few days ago, there was a really big breakthrough. The brain research infrastructure of the Human Brain Project, with the ideas from Karl-Heinz, has been accepted on the European Research Infrastructure Roadmap, so that it could become part of a continuous European research infrastructure for neuroscience, including this analog neuromorphic computing. Not only so that really neuroscience research in Europe can then use analog neuromorphic hardware for their research, not only computer simulations. I think this is a big success, and this is only thanks to Karl-Heinz's work that this is possible now. And he convinced a lot of people that neuromorphic computing needs a home at Heidelberg University, and all the people who knew him, he was really good in convincing people. I mean, he got the Human Brain project running. Therefore, he made the Eins Institute possible. The Eins Institute is a new institute for research in physical computing in Heidelberg. Physical computing includes neuromorphic computing, quantum computing, all the photonic computing, ways of computing where you do not use numerical methods, but you really use physical quantities to represent what you want to compute, like the brain does. And also another activity was that he helped establish the NICE conference series, one of the few international gatherings of researchers interested in neuromorphic hardware, really a conference dedicated to neuromorphic hardware. Very tragically, this conference was planned to be for the first time in Europe, 2019, and he died before that. And in addition, COVID-19 shifted this conference to the virtual space, unfortunately. But a lot of you might have visited the conference, and I think it was still a big success. And also this was only possible due to Karl-Heinz's work before. So all these achievements are still helping the idea of neuromorphic engineering and are motivating our students, our young people, to choose this research for their careers. And I think this fact, this was especially important for Karl-Heinz, to teach the students and to have students interested in this great field of research. So thank you for this special recognition.
Yeah,
Wonderful, Johannes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Johannes. That's very important for the field to have leadership, and we really appreciate that he had this enormous impact on the formation, and now we're very excited to hear that it's being continued in Europe.
So I see Bjorn there. Hi, Bjorn. Also a longtime collaborator with Karl-Heinz and frequent attendant in Capocaccia. I have very good memories of the fantastic students of Karl-Heinz group and the brain scales and HBP group coming to Capocaccia in the disco area underneath the hotel pool, where it always smelled so moldy, but where we had so much fun. Is there anybody else from that group here, or any of Karl-Heinz family with us? They might be just watching the live stream.
Yes, then they know about this event, and I hope they are on the live stream.
Fantastic. Okay. Any words from Kynan or Rodney here at this point? Otherwise, I'll go ahead with the final thing having to do with the award, and we'll be just on time.
Go ahead, Toby.
Okay. So thank you, Terry, very much for that. So you guys have all seen if you've taken a look at the mahowaldprize.org site and you've looked at the previous awards, and you've seen they've gone to things like the IBM True North and the RPG group for their fantastic work over 5 years or so by 5 or 6 people on event-based vision. And on the Astro site, this mobile observatory built in Western Sydney University by Greg Cohen, Andre Van Schaik and their group. These are big engineering projects. It looks like it's impossible for a single person to carry off and have any chance of competing for the prize. And it's not the kind of thing, Misha would not have got this prize. So that's not the kind of prize we want. We want a prize also in this domain that Misha could have gotten. And so that's why we established a new prize, thanks to funding also from Neurotech, which will be called the, I hope you guys can see the slide. I'm having a problem with dimming, which will be called can you still see this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Mahowald Early Career Award, or MECA. And the idea of the MECA is that it recognizes an exceptionally talented student, as Misha Mahowald was. So I'm going to tell you about this, and then you can look on the details on the website. So first of all, the value of the prize will be $2,000, which will pay for travel, as well as guaranteed participation, physical participation in one of the Capocaccia or Telluride neuromorphic engineering workshops. The eligibility is for individuals. This is really aimed at individual master's students, PhD doctoral students, or postdocs within a year of the PhD degree award. So you can get your PhD and still send the application, submit your application within a year of your PhD. and what to submit. You just have to submit a description of any type of hardware, software, or algorithm. Of course, you're encouraged to include links to other stuff, but the whole thing has to be a readable, short 2-page description. The submission is a project description of maximum 2 pages. See the website for details. When you should submit. Submission is always open. The MECA deadline is the same as for the Misha Mahowald Prize, 31st of October. So you still have several months for this coming year's award to submit for it. The evaluation of these submissions will not be by the same jury. The MECA submissions will be evaluated by a 2-person jury, a prominent mid-career scientist, together with a consensus building chair, using the same criteria as the Misha Mahowald Prize. And you can look on the website what those criteria are. And this year's jury and chair will be Munya Eliali from JHU and Emre Nefci, who you guys probably know from the workshop this year, who's going to be the upcoming chair of the Telluride workshop, and Andre Van Schaik, who will coordinate, who will build a consensus among the jury. So we greatly look forward to your submissions. You can resubmit as long as you're within a year of your PhD award, and we hope to get lots of stuff from you guys. And with that, I think that's it, unless there are some final words.
Yeah, Toby, I'd like to have a small coda, if I could, if you could give me the screen.
Go ahead.
Okay, Toby mentioned that this is July 4th weekend here in the United States. And, you know, for those who are from elsewhere probably don't appreciate that there's a tradition, a small town tradition of having a parade. Because of the fact that the workshop was co-located and it overlapped on July 4th, the workshop would traditionally put on a display. And you have to understand that, you know, who are the other participants in these parades? Well, there were horses, and there were cowgirls, and there were, you know, people, you know, the local residents, and it was really great. It was a lot of fun. And this is the main drag here, where the parade goes down. And by the way, General Schwarzkopf, you know, for the first Gulf War, was presiding over the event, and so it was kind of, and there would always be these jets that would go over, kind of rumble the valley. And I'm going to play a video, and to give people a sense of, you know, what it was like to actually be in the parade, and you'll hear the commentator actually talk about us. So here it is. Here's the parade, and here's I think this is General Schwarzkopf up here. This is the county courthouse. So here comes the neuromorphs.
Waves coming out of this brain trust. Some of the most gifted young scientists in America and from around the world attend the Telluride assembly every summer, and the neuromorphs never disappoint at the 4th of July parade. No idea what's coming on. I kind of got a sneaking suspicion, as usual, the neuromorphs are going to take over the show here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's Ania there. That's Ania.
Okay, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. What a great cause this year for the neuromorphs. Thank you so much for showing up.
Okay, well, I think that you got a flavor of it. By the way, if you were wondering what the hats were that people were wearing, I think those were meant to be dendritic trees made out of aluminum foil. They're not tin hats, you know. They were they're meant to give a sense for neurons. And of course, you know, the crowd had no concept of what the hats meant or what the neuromorph actually did, but they really welcomed us with open arms, and we won many prizes. I don't know, Shishi or Toby, can you describe the successes we've had in Telluride?
I think we win a prize almost every year. not necessarily
Well,
the first prize, but definitely
It's a
second.
little bit like a kid's ice skating contest. It's hard to not get a third prize or second prize, but we've won a few first prizes and a whole bunch of second prizes. And once in a while, we win a first prize when we don't have real competition from, I don't know, a flatbed reggae truck or, the kids prize. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's really a bonding experience because the Neuromorphs actually put in a lot of time and effort a few days ahead. Right?
No. We only put in about 2 hours effort right before the parade, like furiously making costumes and attempting to coordinate.
I remember people planning. They had to decide first of all what the theme was. I remember one year it was going to be the retina, and people had to. They were going to be the cones. There was a red, green, and blue people with hats. Little cone heads. No, that took some organizing. It wasn't just
That's true. It's very collective.
In March.
Collective, yeah. I would say a day and a half, really, totally.
Yeah. So, but we really this the spirit of Telluride is, I think, what was really special. And I know this Zoom meeting here is attempting to recreate some of that magic. But boy, I really miss the what it was like, to be there in person. And will we expect to go back in person next year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's the plan. If there's no
I'm going to go. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going.
new way.
Well, in fact, I think some people are going to go back this year. Isn't that right? There are some people there right now.
Well, Malcolm Slaney is there right now. As a matter of fact, I have a background here that I shot, that he shot, just the other day in Telluride. In fact, exactly this background, the one I have behind me now, is what he shot just 2 nights ago in Telluride, a beautiful rainbow, much like the one you just showed. Yeah, so, but there's no, it's different. You always feel lonely when the Neuromorphs are not there.
Yeah.
Lonely.
Also there, right, Guido?
Guido, I don't know if Guido's there. Okay, we sincerely hope that as many of you as possible can join us in the next physical workshop. We still have several weeks of fun stuff to do here at the workshop. And in fact, even tonight, there's going to be some more activities. I'll just put up the schedule just to remind everybody. But thank you everybody for participating in this prize award and for the great presentations. I think tonight the remaining items is and topic area meeting starting, in fact, in about 10 minutes from now. And that will include, and also a sensory motor integration tutorial from Yuhong on using this video to events toolbox. And that will be part of the SMI workgroup meeting. And that'll be it for today. And then it'll start on Monday again. We're not doing Saturday like we do in Telluride. It's 6 days a week there. But we'll start with regular workgroup meetings. So keep checking on the Slack announcements channel and the topic area meetings channel and watch the schedule, because the only authoritative thing is this actual schedule that's there. It can change literally an hour before you need to do something. But we'll try to let you know. Is any other word from the organizer today? Or any questions, comment?
I'll just add that Nikhil Garg has kindly offered to launch a poker game at the end of the Ant workshop. So that'll be in about an hour from now, whenever it actually finishes. They'll put the link on the announcement channel. Please join in.
Right.
Remember, it's video and voice chat, so it's a chance to socialize, and you don't have to actually play to join the chat. Okay.
Pokerclub.now. Yeah, it's really nice venue to play in. I've used it a lot. Okay, great.
Okay, our finals, final presentation of the working groups will be when? Friday to 16th, yeah?
Yeah, the final presentations of what's been achieved will take place. I don't have it here, but it'll take place at the end of 2 weeks, which will be on Friday, July 16th, same starting time as we're starting today. I don't think this is real work group meeting, but anyway. And then we'll have also a presentation from one of our nice sponsors of the workshop, Sony AI. So if you're thinking about a job with Sony AI, this is your chance to hear from them. Okay. I guess that's it for today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. Have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend, guys. Go over and play poker. Oh, Christoph is waving something. Okay. Bye,
Good,
Christoph.
ciao.
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 Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.